Hello, students. So, welcome to lecture number 3 of Introduction to the Chemistry. So, here today we are going to learn about what are bioenergy compounds, understand the different type of energy compounds, their classification, and biological significance of cyclic AMP. So, let us move towards what are energy-rich compounds. Yes, name itself indicates which are having a lot of energy, right? Which will liberate the energy at least 7 calorie per mole at pH 7. So they are called as the high energy compounds, and the compounds which will release the energy less than 7 calorie per mole, they are called as a low energy compound. That's correct. So most of the high energy compounds are also called as a high energy phosphate compounds. They're having a high energy bonds which possess acid and hydride bonds which are formed by condensation of two acidic groups or related compounds. Let us see the classification of your high energy compounds. Obviously, energy rich compounds and energy low compounds. So energy rich compounds liberate at least 7 calorie per mole energy at pH 7, and energy low compounds release energy less than 7 calorie per mole. So this is a classification of high energy compounds. So first class is pyrophosphates, acyl phosphates, enol phosphates, thioesters, and phosphopegens. So pyrophosphates, as you can see here, there is a bond C, single bond P, and more P. So it is having a pyrophosphate group. Acyl phosphate, it is having acyl group in it, along with the phosphate groups. Enol phosphates contain an enol group. Thioester contains one sulfur molecule. Guanidophosphate contains one nitrogen and phosphate group. So let us move towards one by one. All are energy-rich compounds. So first one is phosphoanhydrides. They are formed between the two molecules of phosphoric acids, and these bonds are found in ATP. This is very important point to be remembered. In ATP, there are two high-energy diphosphate bonds. In third bond, that is present between phosphate and ribose group. As you're aware of the structure of ATP, or we will see it later on. Apart from ATP, GTP also used as an energy source. UTP, CTP are also used as an energy source for the metabolism of your saccharides. Second one is enol phosphatic bond. This bond is energetically very high, which is releasing energy around 61 kilojoule per mole. Third one is acyl phosphatic bond, which is releasing energy 49 kilojoule per mole. It is less compared to enol phosphatic acid. Next one is guanidine phosphate. It is formed when the phosphate is attached to the guanidine, and it releases about 43 kilojoule per mole of energy. So they're also present in phosphocreatine. So phosphocreatine is found in muscle cells, and it acts as a reserve of energy in the tissues. Last but not least is a thiester bond. Yes, as you can, the name itself indicate thio, it means sulfur and ester bond. There is no energy-rich phosphate. Such bonds are present in acetyl-CoA. These are the few structures of some energy-rich compounds: ATP, phosphoenol phosphate, 1,3-biphosphoglycerate, acetyl-CoA, and phosphocreatinine. So we will see adenyl ATP, adenosine triphosphate. It is a nucleotide composed of adenine, ribose, and sugar. As you can see here in this picture, adenyl, ribose, and sugar is there in the ATP. So it is attached to the C1 ribose sugar through N1 glycosidic bond. Alpha phosphate is linked to the C5 ribose. And ATP is considered as energy-rich compound because it contains two high-energy phosphoanhydride bonds. And this is a structure of your ATP. Next one is phosphonyl pyruvate. The reasons that favors hydrolysis of PEP, it is electrostatic charge repulsion, resonance stabilization, and isomerization. Next example is 1,3-biphosphoglycerate. and which results in hydrolysis of this 1,4,1,3 biphosphoglyceride is resonance stabilization. It will release a proton and a resonance stabilization of your carboxylic group. Acetyl CoA again, it favors the hydrolysis of your acetyl group. It favors the ionization of and resonance stabilization of again carboxylic group, which is present in the structure. Next example is phosphocreatine. Results that favors the hydrolysis of your phosphocreatine group is again resonance stabilization of a hydrolytic product of your inorganic phosphate and again resonance stabilization of your hydrolytic product of your creatine. So biological significance of ATP. So ATP is very important source of energy, and it is also called as a universal energy currency of the cell. As you're aware of that, energy release is again counted as that of ATP. Intercellular signaling, ATP is again most important for intracellular signaling by acting a substrate for the kinases. It is also important for your DNA and RNA synthesis. It is a similar mechanism is occurred in DNA synthesis where ATP is first converted to deoxyribonucleotide DATP. Next significance of ATP is ATP bounding cascade transporters. The transport of the substances across the cell membrane against the concentration gradient are coupled with ATP hydrolysis. Extracellular signaling, that is a neurotransmission. So cell releases ATP to communicate for your neurotransmission. So we can also see the biological significance of cyclic AMP. So cyclic AMP is a cyclic form of your adenosine monophosphate, and it is a second messenger important in many biological processes. It is a derivative of adenosine triphosphate, and it is used for intracellular signal transduction in many different organisms, conveying cyclic AMP-dependent pathway. Cyclic AMP plays important role in regulation of metabolism. It facilitates, promotes mobilization of glucose fatty acid reserve in the tissues. As you can see, the structure of your cyclic AMP here, it involves activation of a protein kinase. It also regulates the T cell functions and enhances the release of insulin from pancreatic cells to suppress accumulation of a cyclic AMP. So here we have learned all the energy-rich compounds. So in conclusion, we can see that the energy-rich compounds releases energy more than 7 calorie per mole, while energy-low compounds release energy less than 7 calorie per mole. Now let's move towards very important topic, that is a question and answer session. So let's move towards our first question. Yes, correct. Which molecule is known as the energy currency of the cell? Yes, this is the answer. ATP. ATP is called as the energy currency of the cell. Next, very important question. How many high energy phosphate bonds are present in ATP? Yes, we have already seen in the first paragraph of your ATP learning, that is 2 bonds are present in ATP. So thank you for your patience. Thank you all. We will see next topic in next lecture.